Eldbar still stands, but victory came at a terrible price. The realm bleeds and the war has entered a new phase. In the gray dawn, the true cost of survival is laid bare. Smoke chokes the morning air, a grim testament to the battle fought. Amidst the ruins, the living begin the slow, painful work of rebuilding, their faces etched with loss. Soldiers, their armor stained and their spirits weary, carry their fallen comrades to their final rest. Every stone turned, every body buried is a question whispered into the silence. Was it worth it? The fires of war have been quenched, but the embers of grief glow hotter than ever. The city was saved, yet the kingdom itself feels more fragile than before. Across the continent, the delicate bonds of alliance begin to fray and snap. Unity collapses. Fear spreads faster than any army, a contagion of doubt and mistrust poisoning the hearts of kings and commoners alike. In the grand cities, crowds gather, their murmurs of discontent growing into shouts of open rebellion. Noble houses, once united by a common cause, now retreat behind their own walls, their councils devolving into bitter arguments and accusations. On the frontiers, banners that once flew together are now lowered in defiance. Soldiers, disillusioned and war-weary, begin to desert their posts, melting back into the countryside. Taking with them tales of horror and a growing sense that the war is lost. The realm is no longer a united front, but a fractured mosaic of fear, ambition, and despair. In the heart of the capital, within a chamber carved from ancient stone, a different kind of battle is being waged. Here in the war room, silence is the primary weapon. The air is thick with unspoken tensions as the realm's most powerful minds gather around a massive stone table. Upon its surface lies a map of the continent, not drawn with ink, but glowing with a faint ethereal light. Pieces representing armies and political factions are moved with painstaking slowness. Each placement a calculated risk, each retreat a potential trap. There are no clashing swords or rallying cries here. Instead, the fate of nations is weighed in the quiet spaces between breaths, in the subtle shift of an eye, in the grim set of a jaw.
Away.
This is a war of attrition, fought not with steel, but with strategy.
Ow.
Where a single miscalculation could lead to the downfall of 1,000 years of history. Far from the Council's cold calculations, Queen Lysara wages her own solitary war. She is not poring over maps of troop movements, but over ancient treaties, their parchment brittle with age, and letters stained with the wax seals of forgotten kings. In the flickering candlelight of her private study, she seeks not a military victory, but a path through the labyrinth of history and diplomacy. Each word she reads is a ghost from the past, a promise made, a betrayal recorded. Her brow is furrowed in concentration, her resolve hardening with every passing hour. She is not just reading history. She is preparing to rewrite it. Lysara is preparing her boldest move yet, a political gambit of unprecedented scale, a desperate play that could save the realm, or doom it to an even darker fate. On the windswept battlements overlooking the capital, Eldric stands a lonely vigil. The city below is a sea of flickering lights, oblivious to the storm gathering on the horizon. He grips the hilt of the Sword of Night, its dark metal cool against his palm, a familiar weight that brings no comfort. He has seen the face of the true enemy, the ancient evil that drives the war. And he knows this conflict cannot be won by politics alone. As distant thunder rumbles, a prelude to a tempest, Eldric understands a chilling truth. Some evils cannot be negotiated with. They cannot be reasoned with, bribed, or intimidated. They can only be met on the battlefield and destroyed. While the Queen plays her intricate game of thrones, he prepares for the brutal, bloody reality of what is to come. In a candlelit chamber, hidden deep within the city's underbelly, old enmities are given a brief, fragile truce. Rival lords, men whose families have shed each other's blood for generations, now sit at the same table. The air is thick with the ghosts of past grievances. Faces are unreadable masks of courtesy, but hands rest nervously close to the hilts of daggers hidden beneath fine cloaks. Words are chosen with the care of a poisoner measuring drops. Every offer is a potential snare, every concession a sign of weakness. Enemies sit at the same table, brought together by a common threat, but old blood remembers. And in this world, Forgiveness always comes at a cost, often paid in gold, land, or another's life. Trust is a currency more valuable and far rarer than any jewel, but every secret has an audience. It's unseen, unheard. A figure cloaked in shadow observes the clandestine meeting from the darkness. They are a part of the gloom, a presence that makes the very shadows ripple and twist unnaturally. No word escapes their notice, no subtle gesture goes unseen. While lords and ladies scheme, believing their whispers are safe within stone walls, the true power lies with those who listen. The shadow waits, gathering secrets like a miser gathers coin. It has no allegiance, no master, save its own inscrutable purpose. And in the great game of power, information is the sharpest blade of all. The shadow listens, patiently. Its time will come. The moment arrives. Before the assembled council of the realm's most powerful leaders, Queen Lysara lays her cards on the table. She speaks not of armies or defenses, but of a radical, daring proposal. Her voice, calm and steady, cuts through the tension in the grand hall. The Gambit is revealed. It is not a plan for war, but a plan for a new, unbreakable peace. Forged through a sacrifice so great it leaves the council breathless. The initial silence is shattered by a wave of shocked disbelief. Faces pale, eyes widen. Then comes the storm. Heated reactions erupt across the room. Voices are raised in outrage, in cautious support, in outright accusation. The queen stands firm against the torrent, her gaze unwavering. She has made her move, a single, audacious gambit that could unite the realm against their common foe, or fracture it beyond all repair. The first cracks appear almost immediately. Not all accept the queen's plan. For some, it asks too much, a sacrifice they are unwilling to make. In a distant northern province, the banner of a proud and ancient house is solemnly lowered from the castle walls, a clear and public rejection of the queen's authority. In the south, a fiery warlord, seeing an opportunity in the chaos, raises his armies not against the common enemy, but in open defiance of the crown. The queen's gambit was meant to unify, but its first consequence is division. Alliances that were fragile but holding are now broken. The political landscape shifts like sand, and new, more dangerous battle lines are drawn. Defiance, as always, has consequences. The realm begins to turn upon itself even as the greater enemy watches and waits. While the rulers of the realm play their intricate game of strategy and betrayal, the war advances on its own terms. Back in the silent war room, a change occurs on the glowing map. In a region thought to be secure, far from the known fronts, the light begins to dim. A patch of darkness appears, spreading slowly, inexorably, like a drop of black ink on parchment. It consumes mountains, rivers, and towns, extinguishing the light of life as it moves. No army is seen, no battle is reported, yet the shadow's influence grows. The war is not waiting for kings and queens to finish their arguments. It has a will of its own, an ancient and malevolent hunger that cannot be bargained with. It does not play by their rules. It makes its own.